My coworker discovered my secret life outside the office, and now I can't even look him in the eye. I've been working at an accounting office for the past 2 years. It's a quiet, very structured place where everyone knows each other, but there's a sense of professional distance. The environment is fairly conservative. Most of my coworkers are over 40, and some are nearing retirement, except for Brandon. Brandon and I are the same age, 27. We weren't exactly close friends, but we got along well. We'd chat during breaks, joke about work, share music and TV show recommendations. There was never any tension or romantic interest between us. It was just good-natured coworker rapport, and that made everything simpler. About 8 months ago, I started a personal project outside of work. A side income stream through a digital platform that offers exclusive content. It was a calculated decision, not out of desperation, but opportunity. I've always managed my finances carefully, but between rent, transportation, and medical expenses for a family member, I felt I couldn't rely solely on my paycheck. And that platform offered exactly what I needed: freedom, control, anonymity, and good money. I was cautious from the start. I used a completely different name, never showed my full face, and every image was crafted to protect my identity. The content was stylized, more artistic and visual than explicit. Nothing outside my comfort zone. I saw it as a creative extension of myself, a controlled, professional version with clear boundaries. And it worked. I started out earning a little, but over time I built a small yet steady community. Today I have around 200 subscribers and make roughly $200 a month. For me, that's huge. That extra income helped me pay off debt, save a little, and even support my family without scraping by every month. Then everything fell apart. It was just another Monday. I got in early, like usual. I went to grab coffee, and Brandon was there. Normally he'd greet me with a smile or make some dumb joke about the weather. But that day, he just mumbled, "Hey," without even looking at me. Cold, distant. I figured maybe he was tired or having a bad morning. I didn't think much of it. But then it kept happening. The next day, he avoided eye contact. He started emailing me about things we used to talk about face to face. When I walked over to his desk, he wouldn't look up. And the weirdest part, if I walked into the kitchen or the break area and he was already there, he'd leave. He'd literally walk out. By the third day, my anxiety was through the roof. I had no idea what was going on. I replayed everything I might have said or done recently. Had I offended him? Did he misunderstand something? Nothing made sense. On Wednesday at lunch, I confronted him. We were alone in the break room. I asked if everything was okay. He stiffened up, looked uncomfortable, and said yes, that he was just stressed about some projects. But his tone wasn't convincing. And the worst part? He was only acting this way with me. With everyone else, he was the same Brandon as always. Friday afternoon, I stayed late to finish some reports. On my way to the restroom, I passed by his area and heard his voice. He was on the phone and not loudly, but he sounded upset. I was about to keep walking when one sentence stopped me in my tracks. "I don't know how to look her in the face, bro. It's like I know this completely different side of her now. I feel weird, confused. She's my coworker, but also something else." I froze. It was obvious he was talking about me. I waited until he hung up and then walked over to his desk. I told him we needed to talk. I wasn't confrontational, but I was firm. I said I knew he'd found out something about me, and I'd rather clear the air than keep pretending. His face changed completely. He went pale. His lips were trembling. He stammered for a bit before finally admitting it. He had found my profile on that platform. He said it wasn't intentional. He'd been browsing and came across a photo. There was a tattoo on the shoulder of the person in the picture, a tattoo just like mine. At first, he thought he was imagining it. But he clicked the profile, looked through more content, and confirmed it. What threw me off wasn't just that he recognized me, but that he kept digging. He confessed he had subscribed, that he'd been watching my content for days before saying anything. I tried to stay calm. I told him my personal life is mine alone, that I hadn't done anything illegal or immoral, and that I expected complete discretion. He swore he wouldn't tell anyone. But then he said something that made my stomach drop. "I've always thought you were attractive, but now it's different. I feel something." That's when everything shifted. It wasn't just a mistake anymore. He had crossed a line. I made it crystal clear that there was no relationship beyond the professional one, and that what he saw didn't give him the right to project anything else. He apologized over and over and promised he would cancel his subscription. But when I checked the platform over the weekend, Not only had he not canceled, he had bought additional content. He even left a message that read, "You're amazing. Thank you for everything." I didn't know how to react. On the one hand, he's a client. Technically, he hasn't violated the platform's terms of service, but at the same time, he's my coworker. We see each other every day. We share meetings, tasks, workspaces. Since then, everything has changed. I can't relax. I avoid wearing certain clothes, even if they're completely work appropriate, just because he's already seen me in something similar. I don't want to sit near him. I don't want to reply to his messages. And the discomfort didn't stop there. He messaged me again, this time to say he'd like to get to know me better outside of work, that he felt a special connection, that he couldn't stop thinking about me. I didn't know what to say. I ignored the message, but that didn't fix anything. I've thought of every possible solution, blocking him, confronting him again, going to HR, but that would mean exposing a part of my life I've worked hard to keep separate. I have no protection in the workplace if I choose to come forward, and the worst part is that I'm the one considering quitting when it's him who acted inappropriately. My friends tell me to block him, that the money isn't worth it. But the truth is, what he pays me monthly is a significant part of my income. And yes, I know that makes me feel guilty too. But this isn't a black and white situation. There are so many emotions in between. Right now, I feel trapped. The boundary between my job and my personal space is gone. I've lost control over my own image, and what once made me feel empowered now fills me with anxiety. I don't know if I'm overreacting. I don't know if I should wait it out, or if it'll only get worse. All I know is that I don't feel safe anymore.
This is just my personal opinion. I believe everyone has the right to do whatever they want with their life, and no one should disrespect us for our choices. Period. That would be the ideal. And even though we don't live in that world yet, we can work toward it by teaching future generations about respect and boundaries. But we also have to be realistic. We live in a time where showing yourself publicly, even in a careful or limited way, comes with risks. Some people can't separate the personal from the professional and cross lines they shouldn't. It's not okay. It shouldn't happen. But it does. That's why, beyond education, we also need to stay aware of the reality we're living in and protect ourselves. Because like it or not, that's how the world works right now. Now I'd love to hear what you think.